Look at the badonka honkers on that slag.
Oi,
They
you
don't
boy, git. Did you hear about the shortcoach in Brinsbury?
Brinsbury.
In
I heard of
Brinsbury.
Brinsbury in the past, but I
It was
never
a right.
heard
It was
about
a.
this event.
It was a right proper bastion of a shortcoach over in Brinsbury.
Well, those short coaches.
Them
What for
short coaches.
moving those moving those children possessed by devils to
The
their
devil possessed children
the
were on the
devil
short
possessed.
coach in Brinsbury.
Slammed right into a building.
Slammed right into the witch doctor's hut. Right into the Queen's castle.
Witch doctors in England.
Yeah.
I'm sure glad we don't have any guns in England. But they have acid. They have knives.
Yeah.
So
So there was a
I'm
short
here.
coach in Brinsbury, and a young Caribbean gentleman was driving it. And he crashed right into the Queen's castle. 5 devil-possessed children dead. Worst short coach crash I ever saw in all my days in the service.
The Queen's Royal Guard, of course.
Ever since I've been in the Queen's Royal Guard, I ain't never seen a short coach crash like this one. It was bloody fucking horrible.
We lost a lot of good fish and chips that day.
Crash right into the fish and chip stand. 5 devils. Yeah. Alright. Well, if you know, you know. But a horrible tragedy happened this week. He'll never drive a bus again, that's for sure. Who knows what career path he'll resort to.
Probably something not degenerate.
Not degenerate. And perfectly normal people will be able to refer to him in their videos.
Yeah.
Do you see the live video now?
The game?
No, just the stream. Just open the stream so I know it's working.
It is indeed.
Okay. Is anyone watching yet?
I think it's just me, but
Okay. Alright. I hope I announced it reasonably well enough. But, yeah, maybe we'll make a group for this sometime on Dixord or possibly something less cringe. But I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, Element has banned people in the past
Oh, yeah.
for saying gamer words.
I got one account banned on Element. If you make a an account to use on the Element chat, Element's kind of a overarching thing that a few different things fit into. Let's see, what was this stuff? I wrote it down somewhere.
Well, Element is just the program,
Yeah.
and then you can put
The-
that on whatever computers.
Yeah,
and then
the servers and the accounts are run usually through Matrix. Oh yeah.
Matrix.
But
Can't
Matrix is paused and ran by IDF agents. So
Seems legit. XD.
if you
That's not narwhal bacon of you to
that was
say.
not narwhal bacon of you to say that. Someone told me one time that If you don't want to be moderated by Matrix, you can also use several other services that work through Element. One of them is Waifu Hunter. There's nerdsin.space, and there's midov.pl, midov.pl.
Mid-of.
Yeah, I write that in the chat if anybody's actually listening, which I don't think anyone is yet.
No, I don't think so. We usually start later, but we're trying to actually stick to a schedule.
Yeah, okay. So we're probably going to do this at this same time every week now, since I guess some people want to watch it now.
Yep.
So it's, you can hopefully, with the exception of extenuating circumstances, we'll do it around this time. We'll start around this time for the foreseeable future. So anyway,
this is how you play a game.
what do we got on the what do we got on the bulletin board today? Hold on, let me get this started.
You're playing first, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
We're doing Mario Bros. 3 today. Thank you to whoever told me that you can remap the Switch buttons. That's extremely useful. This game's default This game's... Oh my gosh. I'm terrible at this game, though. This game's default controllers are even worse than Yoshi's Island. So I definitely need it this time.
Likely.
What do we got on the bulletin board today?
Well, a couple of young women have thrown a can of soup at
Oh, I wasn't sure where you were
painting.
going with that at first. I wasn't sure which young women you were going to talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yep. The painting's actually all right, but
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's talking about some girls at the Van Gogh exhibit in London. Threw a right proper orange juice can or something, or maybe like spaghetti or something like that onto the
no, it was like a tomato soup, right?
tomato soup onto the sunflowers painting by Van Gogh. And it was to protest climate change or some bullshit.
Naturally.
Yeah, I thought it would be like Van Gogh was a bigot and they're gonna cancel him or something to that effect. It wasn't even Van Gogh related. It was just some bullshit. Like,
right.
People don't.
Well,
people aren't
obviously
listening. People don't
the
care.
Twitter folks were defending their, like, it was like 50-50 from what I saw. It was like half of them were defending their little protests and half of them were like appalled by what they did.
Who's this? Everyone.
Just you know,
Oh, dang it.
Twitter people,
Oh,
which is where I
Twitter.
found out about it, right?
All right.
But what do you think the political alignment of these two activists is?
Oh, I'm sure they're libertarians.
Yeah, probably. They're probably right wing.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem to be.
Ironically, though, another Van Gogh painting was destroyed.
When?
World War II.
Oh, okay.
It's called Painter on His Way to Work, and the original is gone because it was destroyed by the Nazis.
Oh.
So, you know, they're in the same camp, I guess, destroying art.
Yeah. I'm sure they would be happy to know about that. How many lives do I have?
No. Well,
Oh, that's my last one. Okay.
both of them I'm sure had their justifications for their actions, which really people can justify anything. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what
Um,
how bad it is. People can always find some way to justify it to themselves and the people around them that their actions are good.
yeah, sad truth about most people. It's probably a little bit true about everyone, but um, most people decide what they think or what they want to do first, and then they add logic to it after the fact. So you do whatever you feel like doing, and then you decide what your beliefs are afterwards according to whatever your desires and actions were. I find that is usually the case.
Indeed. They made Velma into I don't know, what is she now?
I have heard a lot about it. I don't really know anything.
It's like
But I have to
Indian or
look it up. Oh, okay.
something, because the actress is Indian, because you can't you have to have the same race as the characters you play now. That's what I like. I want to see my old cartoons that I watched as a kid changed.
Representation in
Word.
media is a big deal. Okay.
We're gonna dumb down the art style and insult you for liking the old version.
It's important to have representation. Bigot. Oh, you can do it from underneath. Okay. You can't
Yeah,
jump
people say
down
that a
onto
lot,
the
but
shells.
I haven't actually seen any justification for why
Because,
diversity is a good thing.
like, think of all the little black girls that said, "Daddy, she looks like me," and that totally wasn't just a media stunt, and they didn't just tell them to do it for cameras.
Yeah.
Think of all the little black girls who don't have a Disney princess, except for the actual black Disney princess from like 20 years ago. That's not.
What's her name? Like, Princess and the Frog, right?
Yeah, Princess and the Frog, which that actually was a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
But
that's not. You need the other
that's
ones.
not
You need to select
representation.
them, like
We need the white ones. That's representation.
they're gonna colonize your cartoons.
They're colonizing the
revenge
cartoon.
for colonizing their
They're
country.
colonizing the cartoons. They won't let any of the white characters be black. And how are you going to have little black girls believing that they can be princesses without it? How are the little black... We need our children to believe they can be princesses. How are we going to do it if we don't colonize the Disney cartoons? Don't make no sense to me.
I mean, I guess, but
No, Trump. What's your Trump?
Well, I saw the little Scooby Doo show, and in fact, they didn't even have the dog. They got rid of the dog, and I said, "You fucking idiots! That's the name of the cartoon." And I said, "Someone needs to be fired immediately." I said it right to him,
Donald,
and I said, "You're fired."
the dog
But
is...
they said you don't work here, and they said, "Security, get him out of here." And I said, "I'm the president." And
The dog is
Okay.
racist, Donald. Oh, gosh. He moves around.
No, the dog's not racist.
The dog is racist,
It's a great
Donald.
dog. I saw the dog. It wasn't
He
a
looks
racist
like...
dog. It's the
They said
best dog we've ever had.
the experts in the colleges, they said he looks like a black guy. He's making fun of the black guys with the dog, and we're not going to have that in Joe Biden's America.
No, sorry, no. It was a Great Dane. They call them Great Danes. Okay.
The
And
college experts told me.
they call them Great Danes, and they're little
There
large
were
dogs.
experts in linguistics. They said that he talks in Ebonics. And they told me they're experts in Ebonics, and they told me It is racist.
Run a.
Scooby-Doo's a racist
in a-
caricature. And we're not gonna have any more Scooby-Doo.
They
We're
made
gonna have
Shaggy
the lesbian
the
Velma.
black guy.
And the
they
black
called
Shaggy.
What's the other girl's name? Not Velma, but the Daphne. They made
yeah.
Daphne Asian, but she doesn't look Asian. They just sort of like made her skin slightly off-white and gave her slanted eyes and said, "There you go."
Hate this. Stupid random movement patterns. Oh, do I have to start over?
Also random.
It's gonna make me start over for real, no cap. Oh gosh.
For real, for real. This short bussin'.
I have to speed run these levels. This is a bad game to do on stream. This is gonna be really annoying to watch.
We're famous now. We had a cameo, perhaps, or maybe a little tongue-in-cheek reference by our old friend. I's her old friend.
Okay, we can do.
They call her what's her name? Ashley
What are you going for?
Jones.
I saw Ashley.
I literally forgot her name.
They say she looks like she's 12, but someone told me she's actually 23 now. And I said, if she's 23, then I don't want to sniff her anymore. Oh, there was another sniffing incident, apparently.
Another one? I didn't hear about that one.
I saw...
It's happened so often that I think I just sort of tune out Biden. Look what Biden did.
I saw an Ashley video. And she was talking about the Pillsbury Doughboy. And they're not going to let him have the Pillsbury Doughboy anymore because he's white. And I think that's good. We don't need any more white characters. We need to get rid of all...
Getting rid of white characters, they're getting rid of, like, black characters. They got rid of Aunt Jemima and the Lando likes Native American girl.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you watch the video?
I did not, but I know about it.
Oh, those are two things that she specifically named, I think. There's also the... They call them the Redskins, and that was really racist, even though the logo was designed by a Native American chief. And they're not going to have the Redskins anymore, and I think that's good as well. We don't need any more racist caricatures.
Did they get rid of Uncle Ben?
Oh, I don't...
On the rice?
Dang it. Okay, whatever.
I feel like they removed him, but I don't know for sure.
I don't remember.
I swear.
What else are they going to get rid of? One thing that comes to mind is Pinocchio, because that nose. It's definitely a tongue-in-cheek reference. So we know how Walt Disney was, and that's horrible. We don't want anybody like that in the media. We need to make sure that everybody in the media is sensitive towards people who happen to have bigger noses than other people. So no more Pinocchio.
Really long nose.
If they ever happen to make a Disney remake of... Wait, did they do Pinocchio yet?
Yeah, they did, just not too long ago.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
It was
I didn't
so
watch
bad
it.
that nobody talked about it.
Well,
they
probably got rid of Pinocchio because he's a racist caricature.
No, he was in it.
Well, he's a racist caricature, so we need to fix that. They
made the whale like a kraken monster with tentacles and teeth and whatever the fuck.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know. It's every bad thing about modern movies rolled into one.
That was the thing with Little Mermaid. I was like, that's pretty stupid that they did that, but I wasn't gonna watch it anyway, so whatever. Oh.
Whatever. While you...
What else?
Yes, the left can't meme. We're too busy making laws and
We're too
sending political dissidents to jail.
We're too busy educating ourselves and ruining all classical art, like
Yeah,
Van
that's
Gogh
right.
and Little Mermaid.
Tomato sauce onto your
Did
ancient
they?
painting. Here's some culture. I'm gonna destroy it for my for this political cause that I was propagandized into. Definitely,
Trying to
definitely,
think
these
if
are
they
my
did.
own thoughts and my own ideas, and I'm gonna
Hey, it's
act
just
on them.
because they need representation. That's the only reason.
There you go. They need
Oh,
tomato
with Van Gogh.
representation, painting of
Well,
flowers.
these young women doing this performance abstract art, whatever they call it. What do they call it
Yeah,
when like college students go to have
activism.
like no, when they have like that, it's supposed to be art, but it's like a girl like pulls out spaghettios and shoves them up her coochie in front of a bunch of people, and then everybody claps and they're like, "Wow, that was so artistic and amazing."
Um,
Performance
performance.
art. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
it's art because it makes you think.
yeah,
That
that's what we
really
need. Art is really more about activism than it is about like being good.
that really lobotomizes my retard.
That really possesses my children with devils.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
send them to the coal mines. Get more coal for our furnaces. Those British accents. I don't know how they do them all day.
Yeah, how do some people talk like that all the time? That's got to be really hard.
Must be difficult.
Okay, our fan did ask more questions.
What fan? Oh, on the board?
Yeah.
It's called the board because it's shaped like a rectangle.
It's called a board because... No, never mind. I won't do that joke. Crap. I don't want to do
Called
these
a
mini
board.
games no more ever again. Oh, I only get 2
Board.
chances? What? How am I supposed to memorize the whole thing with 2 chances?
Just like real life. You fail and then you never get to try again. That's what I like. That's
Okay.
the real hard-hitting art. That's art right there. Like a can of spaghetti sauce. Can of tomato soup.
These questions. I was going to
Yeah.
avoid some of these topics, but if you want to specifically ask me. I thought maybe I wouldn't be asked any Ashley-related questions this week because I had another bit of a spat with her over some of the new videos and pictures and stuff happening on the board. I think we talked about last week the cum tributes. She wants cum tributes. Everybody who's has the disposition to make a cum tribute and wants to go and enable her degenerate behavior. She wants cum tributes. But-
Why? Oh yeah,
I don't know.
says.
She says it's for a video, which that she shouldn't put porn in her videos anymore. So she should just not. She's just not.
Just don't.
I think she has like 5 now though, so I don't know how many she needs. Gosh dang it.
It's having a whole smorgasbord.
Okay. This question is distracting me, so I have to answer it right now. They asked, "How do I exit Vim?" I'm gonna try and I have notes on my computer that I could go look at right now and answer and pretend to be smart. I'm not a V
I know
or
how.
Vim exit expert. Do you use it?
Yeah, I do.
Don't tell me. I'll see if I remember off the top of my head. And then
Well,
you
the
tell me if I'm
traditional way is to get a shotgun and shoot your computer. but
right. That's the only good way to do it. Okay. You press colon to get into the command area or whatever it's called, and then it's Q exclamation point. Is that right?
Yeah. So what that? Yeah. So if you're in command mode and then you press colon and then Q, and then you type out Q exclamation point, it'll quit without saving any changes you made.
Oh, okay.
If you
Well, you
want
have to save
to
first, right?
commit your saves, you can write W, and then you could quit with Q. You don't need the exclamation point if you've saved already.
Okay. All right. Now I'm in a new world, so I don't have to worry about near quite as much about dying. It is the desert world, though, so it'll probably be horrible. Oh. Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Vim Chad, though. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as people make it out to be, the people that really like it, but it does have its ups.
Well, I'm told that people who get really good with all the shortcuts can write code faster than anybody else. Which, if you know all the stuff for how to like navigate to the next word, to the next line, delete a word, delete a line, copy a line.
I wouldn't say I'm that good, but the advantage, I think, comes from the fact that you don't really have to move your hands from the normal typing location in order to do those things.
Type entirely with the keyboard.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's all I got from that.
The devil-possessed child.
But yeah, if you're developing all in Arch Linux and you only use a laptop and you don't have a mouse pad for it and you just sit with your laptop on your bed writing bash scripts for your company that you work for or whatever you do, then I guess that would be a good way to do it.
That's how you do it.
I learned bash a little bit for this Linux class I was in, but I've pretty much forgotten it.
Mm.
It would be useful though if you had to automate stuff in Linux a lot. Actually, I could use it if I relearned it, but I think the energy going into learning it would be more than the energy I would save. That'll be one of my things on my get to eventually list, which is a long list. Ah, stop respawning wherever you were as soon as I get off screen. Am I at the end of this damn stage yet?
Ooh.
Who else?
You got any more questions?
There are a few more, yeah. Our mystery fan wants us to review both of the videos. Okay, I'm just gonna do this random because I'm not gonna worry about it anymore.
Well, I liked the crash video actually.
If that was a reference to us, it seemed kind of a little bit too appropriate to just be a random coincidence. Although I hesitate to think that she actually watches this or is more than indifferent towards my existence, but thank you for that reference if that was the case, and that was a really good video. Like, I used to do YouTube poop forever ago if you look at my old videos. And I was quite impressed by that.
Indeed, especially if it was done on free software.
Assuming it was done on free open source software.
Yeah,
maybe
I've used OpenShot and it sucks, dude.
You know, though, maybe if you had to use really good software to make your videos, maybe that would be a justification for dual booting Windows 11 on your Arch Linux laptop. If a hypothetical person were to do something like that.
I don't know. Does DaVinci Resolve work on
Does Wine work with After Effects or whatever the standard software is now?
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, DaVinci Resolve works for Linux if you want to use it on Linux. But
is that
I remember
video editing software?
Yeah, it's pretty commonly used one, and it's free.
What do most of
So,
the
you know, stuff
what do
like
most of the kids making their memes nowadays use? So when I back
TikTok.
in huh?
TikTok probably.
TikTok. No, like people like Grandi or whatever making these very thoroughly edited videos. I don't even. We talked about this once before a long time ago. If I tried to get back into YouTube poop, I would have to put way more effort into it than I did in the old videos just to be on par. Whereas back in the day, if you were doing, you know, stuff like masking and cropping stuff on the screen, you were already one of the better ones because most people were just making them
Yeah,
in
most
like
people
Windows Movie
turn on the
Maker.
rainbow and then repeat a syllable.
Yeah, there were a bunch of just really abstract ones, and some people liked that, but I didn't really think they were funny. But now
Majority of people agree.
people are taking it really seriously. They must be pouring hours and hours into these videos, which I did when I was a kid. I don't know if I would do that now though. Said I haven't done it in forever, and I'm not really passionate about it anymore. Although maybe if someone with a lot of influence over me were to spur me into action, maybe I would dedicate the time necessary to it. Frick.
I don't know. Seems like I have less and less time.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the thing as well. This high school was one thing, middle school and high school. I'm a senior in college now, if I haven't complained about that on the stream enough yet. I'm in all these hard classes. My mental health is in the tank. I don't have the time and I don't have the energy for almost anything. So, yeah, it would be hard to add more to the plate right now. I've put pretty much all of my personal artistic projects on the back burner lately.
Yep, it's me. When people use the word community and they refer to it as our community.
Our community?
Yeah, because
what would
it's
they be referring to?
probably, you know, a lot of times it's a fandom.
Oh, we would talk about our community, our fan community, the Shortbus community.
Say, or you know, Warhammer would be a good example of this. So like Warhammer, this is our Warhammer community. We need to be more accepting of XYZ in the Warhammer community. You know what I mean? But really, when people say community, they're just sort of trying to use the voices of other people in order to get their point across.
Or they're trying to sound more important than they really are.
Yeah,
because there's my stream, my fans, my community. This is gonna be one of those annoying levels.
Yeah, a lot of times there isn't really a representative figure in these groups of people, and many times they're not even really connected with each other. This is really affecting the sheet metal bending community.
Gosh,
we need more red paint for sheet metal creation.
I think we moved through a few tangents again. What was the last main point that we were talking about?
Probably
talking about her video.
Her videos, yeah. Yep.
The best video was good.
It was proper.
Oh, that was lucky. Oh my gosh.
Should switch now.
The I'm about to come thing. Well, the use of it in... Oh my gosh. I'm a retard.
I would say, you know, people...
Well, how do I get past this?
I'd say she... Get past what?
This freaking tornado.
You jump into the tornado. You jump into it.
Okay.
Gotta get in some
speed. Now the sun comes for me.
The sun's coming for you. I actually like that a lot.
The sun in this game?
Yeah.
It's like the worst feature of this game.
I mean, I liked it as an enemy, because like...
Let me burn through my last 2 lives. It frustrates me a lot, but I guess Mario games are good. standard for platformers. Ah, crap.
Time to swap.
They have a lot of
Okay.
diverse enemies and environments and stuff. Okay, let me.
This Primo. The premium platformer.
Yoshi's Island is obviously the best platformer ever made. The
Sure, it's
original.
not Super Meat Boy.
Nah, Meat Boy's the best that modern technology, the best that modern game developers can do.
Mm.
I'll call it good with that if you want to switch now.
It's not very good at all.
Meat Boy?
Yeah.
Meat Boy's good. It's a good game. It has cool music, especially. Okay.
Fair enough. Far out. Alright. Switch.
Last one.
Switch me over.
Okay, never mind. I died.
This short bus.
Wait, do I have one or do I have zero? Okay, never mind. They moved behind the map. They moved behind the map anyway.
Ha 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 ha. Don't ask me to justify my actions, because I can't do that to myself.
Oh, yours going. Might want to turn the volume down a bit. Or, I don't know how often it'll make loud noises like that.
Probably not very often.
Alright, what else?
What else?
That is kind of loud. I might. Oh, I think I can turn your. I can turn your stream volume down as well.
That's as low as it goes, Bobby.
Oh, okay. I'll just turn the stream volume down. Is your voice still the same? The same volume? Or is it going to be super quiet now?
Perhaps.
Oh no, that's still the same volume. Okay, now I know that works. That's a thing I can do.
That's the thing.
What's this game called?
Dark.
Dark, that's it?
Yeah.
I didn't think of anything better than that. It reminds me a little bit of Little Nightmares, which maybe I could do that on here sometime. I got the sequel, but I didn't play it yet.
Could be a cool time. These controls aren't very good. Also, I just went into the wrong route, I think.
Oh, hold on a second. Be right back. You have to monitor.
That's what I like. Rainlit hour. What? Who could it be now? Big brain. Key emblem? No. I don't think much happened this week, to be honest.
Sorry, my roommate needed something.
What did he...
He needed to borrow something. Against my better judgment, I let him.
Kill him. No, don't. That you might get in trouble.
If there's a scratch on it, I will kill him. Although it already has plenty of scratches, so it doesn't really matter. As long as it comes back functioning.
Yeah.
What other characters are gonna get canceled other than Pinocchio?
Probably this one. Look at him.
He is really white.
Pasty. He's pasty. He looks... Obviously, they went for a... Was it Tim Burton sort of look for this game?
It does have kind of a Tim Burton look. I wonder if this is by the same people who did Little Nightmares.
There are a lot of white characters that need to be cancelled. There's, Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas. Why does my voice still crack? I haven't been in puberty for like 13 years. Maybe it's because I don't use it enough.
That's my issue.
Probably. I need to
Do
go sing along with some screamo songs before we do this. Do vocal warm ups before I do this. I hate
Led
this so much.
Zeppelin, the immigrant song.
I'll go sing the immigrant song before I do this.
A boomer song, if you ask me.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Who?
Casper, he's white. Cancel
Oh
him.
yeah. I don't think you get cancelled just for being white though. You have to be problematic.
Well, that's what's happening. They're canceling the Pillsbury Doughboy. He's too white. There's the Michelin Man as well. He's white. He's white. He goes around replacing people's tires, that's a very white thing to do.
Is it?
Taking your car to the mechanic. That's white culture at its finest.
You make a good point.
Yeah, white culture is always suppressing African traditions. The African tradition of borrowing. I'm not just being racist. That was an article I saw once that whites are redefining the African tradition of borrowing as stealing, and that's why their rate of theft is so high.
It's a real article you read?
It's a real MSM article I saw on the internet. I don't know if they redacted it at some point, but I did see it at some point. I guess this zombie can just walk on walls.
I don't think I don't know what's happening, man.
He looks like a zombie. Or something, one of the zombie equivalents.
Looks like a zombie, tastes like a zombie, probably zombie.
I don't see anybody in the chat still. Do
Because they hate it.
you have anybody watching other than our FBI agent who's always here? Shoutouts to the FBI agents in the chat.
Home slice, bread slice.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to talk about this, but our mystery fan who always asks me Ashley-related questions wants to know what I thought about her heroin overdose dildo picture. Part of our I was like raking her over the coals this week about all like the sexual stuff, and that was the main one. She posted this picture she's on her bed with the horse dildo, and she looks like she's passed out, and her eyes are like all darkened and stuff. She's wearing one of those dresses that like a hooker would wear in a film noir movie.
Oh yeah.
And one of her boobs is hanging out, and she did blur it over, but I was still upset by that picture, and I think that she shouldn't do that. I think she should have some dignity.
You sounding like her dad. Is that too far?
No, that was right on point. Well, we kind of were in an argument. I didn't pursue this, but I was saying you should have standards, like in your videos, and she was saying that that stifles her comedy, like putting standards on them. But I think having standards is an important thing, even if it stifles whatever your art whatever your art form is. You should have certain morals that you don't cross, regardless of if it's not good for your career or your whatever art form you do. Like, for example, there are a lot of young actresses who, in interest of pursuing their art form of choice, let some old director casting couch them, and so that line of thinking leads to that sort of lifestyle. So I think you should have certain morals that you don't cross, even when it's inconvenient to you.
Mm. It's inconvenient to me. No, I mean, glass houses, but posting a picture like that is sort of attention seeking, I guess.
Maybe a little. I just think, like, she, in my eyes, was, hopefully maybe still will be, a shining exception to the e-whore rule. And it would be a shame to see her go down that same direction as, like, every other famous girl on the internet. So I would like if she didn't do that kind of thing, but obviously I don't have any bearing on what she does. So I did tell her, though, if she puts porn in her videos but not of herself. I said, and I absolutely meant that I would never have anything to do with her again if she made actual porn of herself. She hasn't done that, though, yet. That is definitely... I think that's degenerate. And I talked about how I used to have a porn addiction myself, and so I try to avoid it like the plague now. Obviously, you can only do that to a certain degree if you're still going to be a man-child and go to 4chan. Whenever... I don't go to /poll very much, but when I do, I am in the habit of hiding threads and posts without looking at them other than peripherally. Obviously, sometimes I do that better than others, but that's the compromise I have to make if I'm not going to just commit to never go there again. I kind of want to be there, though, because I feel like that's kind of the fray where the important discussions are happening right now. Even if it's a honeypot or whatever, that's where you find a lot of important information other than the, like, how does this make you feel, white boy kind of threads. Oh, CB's here. I always liked her sense of humor, but I was surprised to see her take this avenue of humor, such as cum tributes. Yeah. I definitely feel like she's a little bit hardened. She claims that she is the same as ever, but I don't believe her. I think at some point in the past she was probably appalled by that kind of thing, and the world slowly wore down on her. But I don't know her. Obviously, I've never really talked to her directly one-on-one, so that's all just my things that I think. Someone, or the same person, asked what my favorite video of hers was. I think if you look at my favorites playlist, if it's still public, if I didn't hide it at some point, one of her videos that I favorited was that web mistress one. I watched that one lots of times, and it made me laugh really hard. That's like my thing that I do, well, my career anyway, is programming and software. So that one was really funny. And I was glad that she did another, like, one of those videos where that seems like it's quasi improvised. The new one about the Pillsbury Doughboy. I think that's a good format, and she does it really well.
Well, I think, even having So the crash video, I think, like even having that is sort of like there's a way to do it without using like it. Obviously,
Oh,
there's
without
like
showing the whole thing. I
well,
do.
no, I think it's like you wouldn't seek out that you wouldn't add that sort of video unless you liked it on some level. You know what I mean?
Maybe she watched
Like,
that recreationally before she decided to use it.
yeah.
Well, right up until the very end of the video, I don't think you actually see his penis or his asshole. Which I mean that's fair use, so to speak, of that. You could have done it avoiding it, although I do admit it would be slightly less funny. I guess that's the sacrifice you make. If you're trying to have standards, then you have to make sacrifices sometimes. But I find that as a pattern, I tend to do better with my artistic endeavors if I have standards, even if I make small losses here and there. So I don't know. She could have done that same thing and either blurred it out or put his ass with the squash or whatever it was slightly outside the screen. But anyway, that's my those are my standards, my opinion on that. Um, so anyway, I guess it's just me being upset that she wasn't exactly the same as how I thought she was, or how she used to be in the old videos from forever ago.
Well, people do change, even if they don't realize it.
Yeah.
And it's not always for the better either.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know. Is it usually for the better or is it usually for the worse?
When people change, well, it could be
Yeah.
either. I mean, probably most of the time. Probably most of the time in this cruel world, it's for the worse. You start as a bright-eyed, believing in fairy tales little kid, and then the world slowly convinces you otherwise. I think maybe that was largely the case for me. I think, though, the lowest point of my life was maybe when I was like 18 or 19, and I started to slowly kind of fix myself after that. See, it's hard to say when you've found your true self, because your true self could be somebody who you become in the future. So maybe I haven't reached my full potential yet, but I'm kind of a work in progress.
I think, yeah, I mean, there is some truth to the idea that consciousness sucks.
Consciousness?
That's probably why people often escape into drugs and alcohol. Yeah. Just, being fully aware of your surroundings.
A lot of addictions seem to revolve around wanting to escape to some kind of fantasy, I think. Obviously, there's just like the chemical dopamine released, but I don't know. Some drugs kind of simulate escaping into a different reality. And people can be addicted to all sorts of... Huh?
Psychedelics, right?
Psychedelics, yeah. Which people use psychedelics for various reasons, but maybe stuff other than that as well, in a sense. But anyway, yeah, people can get addicted to, I don't know, entertainment, video games, television, or
pretty much anything, right?
Yeah, I guess anything that gives you some kind of dopamine reaction, but it often seems to correlate or correspond somehow to escaping reality, just like getting away from, like getting out of the mental state that of living in our normal world that we live in. No one seems to be happy with our modern society. Maybe Ted Kaczynski would have something to say about that.
We should actually write him. Although maybe he'll kill us once he gets out. We'll send a bomb.
Makes a list of all the people who have written letters to him.
Yeah, and then he blows them up.
What would he do if he got out? I expect he would just, I don't know, continue where he left off.
I don't think they're not gonna let him out on good behavior or anything.
No, I'm pretty sure he's stuck in there until he gets broken out or breaks out. Okay, do I think she has actual autism or is otherwise mentally ill? I don't know, man.
I don't.
I'm not yet sure if like how she talks in like the videos or on her website is like for real or if it's a character that she's playing. She sometimes jokes about having like multiple personality disorder. I assume she doesn't actually, but maybe she thinks she does and she does that kind of thing. Or,
well, we should wrap this up, I think. But
what are we at now?
we're right on time.
A little shy of an hour. We've got a few more minutes.
Okay. Oh, we did start late, didn't we?
Yeah. Jeff says he wants to make them shorter than previous ones in the past.
Oh yeah, I think they're a little long. You know, we sort of run out of things to talk about, but
yeah, I guess if we start having a whole lot of dead air and stuff, then that's a good sign that we need to close it.
Need to get out.
Anyway.
Get him out of here.
I need my trump. He's a little less trumpy. Tooting my trumpet. That's what I said. Oh, you know what?
We got through most of the stuff we were thinking about talking about. Except you mentioned you wanted to talk about bad anime that everyone likes.
Oh yeah, we can do it.
Speaking.
I don't think we got time for it, but we can touch on it.
I don't know what time. Do we have to stop at 60 minutes exactly?
Yes.
Whatever.
I'm too autistic.
Okay, what do you think of Overlord?
I hate Overlord.
I know a lot of people like Overlord.
But I think they like it for the waifus.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Is it one of those shows that has like 50 female characters?
Yeah, well, it's more like 20, but like the main character's like an all-powerful demon lord, and like he always wins, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, if you have a Marisu main character, you can only do so much with a show. My brother, who's into a lot of those video game isekais, recommended that to me, as well as some of my friends who are into that kind of thing.
Well, it's also got really bad CGI in it.
A lot of them are starting to move into, like, 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are starting to put one foot onto 3D stuff, 3D animation, and it sucks like 99% of the time.
I mean, maybe you can make a case for it being used in like cities or whatever for backgrounds, but
yeah,
the main point of focus should never be a 3D model with a inverted hull shell, and you do a particle physics effect to show.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's one scene that I'm talking about in Overlord where like they barrel through a bunch of orcs or something, and then like it has the orcs like fly up into the air with a pinball sound
Okay.
effect, or no, like a bowling sound effect.
Oh, and they do CGI for that.
Yeah, the orcs are CGI and they're like static posed, and like you could at least ragdoll them if you're gonna do 3DI, Jesus. Um, if you're gonna do 3D animation, you could at least like do ragdolls when you throw characters around. But
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been good in the times I've seen it used for like when they have a character on screen that's like in a fight scene and suddenly they become 3D. I assume it was just to save money.
yeah,
It looks really shitty.
I mean that's why they do it, is because it's a
Yeah,
fraction of the
It's
cost.
cheaper, yeah. It's probably why Western animated movies are pretty much doing only that now, because it's way cheaper for them to do a high production movie in 3D animation rather than 2D. My pick.
Invincible did it. They get a pass though because the story's good. But
Invincible?
yeah, for a lot of the flying scenes, they had 3D.
Oh, I don't remember that. If you fit it in enough, like sometimes usually they'll do like cell shading in it so that it looks like it fits into the 2D world, but it usually doesn't. If they make it convincing enough that it fits in, then I guess it's alright. But they often do not, so I hope that they do it as little as possible and that it doesn't become more prominent as time goes on.
I've watched some Invincible episodes like 3 times, so
I haven't rewatched it since we watched it like a year and a half ago. Maybe I will sometime though. It was quite
I did
good.
read the comics.
Oh yeah,
and
you
I
read the whole comic as well, right?
Yeah.
I wonder when they'll make the next season. And I was gonna mention Mirai Nikki or Future Diary, which a lot of people think is really good, and it sucks. It's horrible. The writing is shit. Nothing makes any sense. There are all these logical holes in the plot all over the place. I guess this wouldn't have any meaning to anybody who hasn't seen it. But in a lot of shows there's really lazy writing. Where there's a guy and he's a bad guy at first, and then he becomes a good guy later for no reason. Like you don't really know what characters' motives are. Or they're not consistent with their character, with their motives. That is one. There are a bunch of gay characters in that as well, which there's that. I was also watching Castlevania a few weeks ago, and there's like a random gay sex scene.
Yeah, with Alucard.
Yeah, Alucard. Like apparently he's bisexual. I don't think that was ever established, but maybe they figured they would gamble with the like Japanese siblings or whatever they are.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's implied that they're twins or something like that, but they decide they're gonna seduce him, and then they
What's
like
their plan? Yeah, to kill him.
which they
I guess spoilers.
that was pretty. Yeah, spoilers. Sorry. Well, it came out forever ago though. They decide like they don't trust him. This didn't make any fucking sense. They decided like they think he's manipulating them or something, and so they're going to kill him, which is stupid. I don't know. I didn't understand that part, but I guess they just wanted to have a combination sex scene with that and the other pair.
Yeah.
Lots of unsatisfying sex scenes. Anyway, so they go into his room and then they both rip their clothes off. What are you gonna do if he says, "Hey, I'm not into guys," So the guy can leave and the girl can stay.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
What?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
his
Maybe
um,
that's bigoted of me.
bisexual?
But I assume I assume that straight is the assumption, unless otherwise specified. So
I mean, you could have indicated that he was bisexual at some point, but they didn't. They just sort of threw it in.
yeah, I don't think so.
Actually, I don't remember them showing him having any sort of sex drive in the show, but
I sort of thought that he seemed like he was jealous when Trevor and Sypha were starting to get together. Maybe it's
Yeah.
because he liked Trevor. Maybe I just assumed that it was Sypha.
yeah. All right, I have to get going.
Yeah, we're doing a shorter one this time at least. I don't know what we'll do in the future. It looks like
An even shorter bus, practically a car.
eventually you just have a car.
A motorcycle.
If you don't have enough people on the short bus, enough children with devils on the short coach, then you just get a penny farthing.
Penny farthing?
It's the bike with the big wheel.
Ah,
Okay.
that's what I like. Okay.
Okay, we'll call it good with that. I'm glad you showed up, CV. Back the blue, or whatever you say. Oh no, wait, Army's green, isn't it? Or military.
Black.
Black,
Black.
back,
Black
black,
the beige.
back the green.
Black the blue. Okay, that doesn't make sense.
Black the blue.
Yeah.
I'm feeling black and blue right now. Back the blue and back the black. Okay.
To the black.